Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. How's everybody? All right? Okay, good. Okay, today I will continue, from where we left last week. And today we're going to discuss partial public good. Okay, what I mean by partial public good is that kind of good that satisfy only one condition of public good. And we also will look at some problems with the model that we just discussed, the model lingkat. Kita panggil apa? Saya pernah lupa nama di. I remember Lagrangian. It's not Lagrangian. Apa ke nama? Lindal model. So we're going to see what there are some potential problems with the Lindal model. So from there we will justify the government have a role to play. Right? Now let's go through the Lindal model. What we were talking about, we have the market demand function. So the market demand function is the sum of the marginal benefit of everyone in the group. Okay, so I think that is clear. So if you recall, that is the sum of the marginal benefit function. So that was the sum, right? So the market demand function, we already know. I just recap. Okay, just recap what we learned, what we did. The market demand function is equal to what? Is equal to the sum of the marginal benefit function. So that is equal to, if you label the people by 1 to 3, so MB1, MB2, up to whatever, up to MBN. Okay, if you label as N. Or if we label it as ABC, then we just have what? Just have the marginal benefit of A plus the marginal benefit of B and so on. B, C, so on. So depending on how you label the people, right? Sometimes we label them as household of 1, 2, 3. Sometimes we label it as A, B, C, D, E as our example. So that we will get the market demand function. All right. The marginal cost, okay, which is the supply function, we assume fixed. So when we assume the marginal cost, or this one is general. Okay. This one is the general example. This one is general. Or this one is general. When we say marginal cost is a constant, that already we are looking at the specific example we have. Right? So the marginal cost is the supply function. And for our specific example, we have the marginal cost is a constant. So supply equal to the marginal cost equal to average cost. Now, when the marginal cost is a constant, that is equal to the average cost. So just a constant K, okay? K constant. All right. Okay. So when you have the marginal cost constant, that will be equal to the average cost. So that was more specific to our example. Okay, so in our example, we have how many people? We have, I think, 4 people. Okay, we have 4 people here. So you have the marginal cost is constant. So that will be equal to the average cost. And the marginal benefit are given as person A, B, C, D. So we sum them up. So what you get will be the market demand function. Okay, all right. So that is where we left last time. Now, when you have the marginal cost is a constant, how does it look like? So if we can draw the diagram of that example, all right. So you have the market for police service. That is our example, and that's a Q, that's the price, that is the origin. So you have the market demand function like that. So that is the market demand function after you sum up the individual demand function. And the individual demand function would be drawn A, B, C, D. So if I go back to the table, all right, if you go back to the table, you just see here which person has the highest demand function. So you just get the first value. And of course, you can sketch according to the values given there. Okay. So what I would like you to do, okay, I want you to sketch on your diagram. All right. So diagram, not draw, okay, just sketch. You have the market demand function 147.118.77.44. Okay, so that is market demand function. And then for every one of these people, you sketch the demand function accordingly. Okay? All right. Now, I just want to see, okay, whose demand function is the highest, so that we can make the arrangement and then we can see the contribution of everybody. So okay, got it. So what you do, okay? I think I will clear my diagram. We draw another one. I draw another one, so that will be more reflective of that example. Okay, so we draw another one. So make it more accurate. So you label what? I label 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have here 4. I think I make it larger. Boleh lah. Okay, so that is 4. And then you have what? I have up to 147. What? Up to 150. So you make an interval, you know, a scale up to 150. So I got 50, 100, 100. Let's see, 50, 100, 150, 200. Okay, get nice. 250. Okay, so that is the maximum. So for the market demand function, what do we have? We have 147 somewhere here. Lepas tu apa? 118. 118 will be somewhere there. 118. Alright. Then 77 will be somewhere here. And then 44 will be somewhere there. 44. Somewhere there. So that's the market demand. Okay. So now you draw each of these people demand function. So for A, what is the first value? 31. 31 will be somewhere here. And then what? 26, somewhere there. 20, somewhere there. 10, somewhere there. So that is not that good. Okay, that is A. So you draw better. And then B is 50, 26, somewhere there. 20, to there 20, and then 10, something. So that is for the person B. So that is for B. Okay, and then you draw for every other people. 31, 50, and then 25. 25 is somewhere there. 15, dia semua belum habis tu. So you have another one. Okay, of course, not very good. Diagram. You draw better. And then 41, D, 41, 31, 41, somewhere there. And then 36, 22, somewhere there. So B or D is in between A and B. So that is D. So if you draw it nicely, you can get better. Okay. All right. So that is the market demand function, which is the sum of the individual demand function. And then the marginal cost is equal to 118, and it's constant. So 118 is somewhere here. So that is the marginal cost. And that is equal to the average cost, equal to 118. So the equilibrium, okay, equilibrium, then, maybe I modify a demand function. So that's nicely lah. So that our demand function. So that is the equilibrium. So that equilibrium, we call it Lindahl equilibrium. Okay, so the E is the Lindahl equilibrium. And then what is the marginal cost? Or PE? And of course, that is the marginal cost at E. And that is also equal to the average cost. That is what? That is 180. Okay. And what is the equilibrium quantity? Equilibrium quantity is equal to 2. So that is equilibrium quantity and the equilibrium price. Here, 118. Okay. All right. So now, how much everybody contribute? How much everybody contribute? I think we already have our discussion. How do we contribute? How does everyone contribute? They will contribute according to what? According to their willingness to pay. All right, willingness to pay at the equilibrium quantity. So you have the marginal benefit of everyone at QE, which is 2. Okay, so that is how much everyone contributes. So under this model, we contribute the marginal benefit or willingness to pay at each of at the equilibrium price. All right. So I can, where should I write down? Here, I put it there. Pay their willingness to pay or the marginal benefit at QE. Okay. For example, at QE, what is the marginal benefit of A? It's 26. So A will pay 26. All right. So these are the what we call the Lindahl prices. So let us go back to the diagram. So we just focus on the diagram for now. So you have the equilibrium E, the equilibrium quantity. So our contribution or everyone's contribution will be what? Will be their willingness to pay or their price at QE. Okay. So this is what you call the Lindahl prices. So I want you to draw a bigger diagram. My diagram is too congested here, but I would like you to label nicely. This is the Lindahl prices. So you have PB, that is B, okay, and the second one here D, and so on. It's not that it's not that good for me. The last person is C over there. All right. So those points here. Okay, I think we should put it B the price. So I don't have this. So what you do, you put the P, okay, PB, and so on. So at equilibrium price, okay, at the equilibrium, I'm sorry, not equilibrium quantity, at QE, okay, at QE, what do we have? We have for A, right, that will be what? MBA, right, which is, can also call it PA. So this is what you call the Lindahl prices. Okay. So what I'm saying here, Lindahl prices is not the equilibrium price. Lindahl prices is what? Is the everybody's contribution for the equilibrium output level. So for B, I have MBB equal to PB, and for C, so on. Okay, finish it up. So these are the Lindahl prices. All right. And for our example, the Lindahl prices are what? For A, how much is A? Pay 26. And for B, what is it? 41. And so on. Okay. So these are the Lindahl prices. Okay. So now when you want to contribute, when you want to find the total contribution, how do we get it? Total contribution, how do we get it? Okay, total contribution, the Lindahl prices. Where did I put that? Okay, here. The total payment or total contribution would be equal to the sum of the total payments or the total contribution of everyone. Okay, so we already did that. Okay, so P of A, here is P of A. So if you do for everyone, okay, how much is the total cost? I mean, not total cost, total contribution. Okay, you go ahead, compute. Contribution of A, which I did here, is 26 times 2. That would be 52. Okay, now you do for A, B, C, D. First person who got it, let me know. I don't have to wait for everybody. Okay, for the total contribution for B. Okay, TPB. Now I write down TPC, TPD. Okay, what is the contribution for B? Anybody got it? So this is
82. 82.
82. Everybody got 82? So that will be equal to what? That will be equal to 41 times 2. Okay? All right. Now see, what is that?
30.
30?
Yes.
Okay. And then for D?
72.
72. So you do everything here, okay? Finish up. And the sum here, okay? 6. So here I got 6, 10, 10, 13, 23. Is that 23? Betul, 23.
Yes.
Plus 13, 23. So the total contribution is $236, ringgit. Or ringgit lah. So total contribution of everyone, 236 RM. Now, what is the total cost? Okay, total cost. I have to make a correction here. Total cost is, of course, the equilibrium price, okay, equal to C. But more accurately, it should be what? It should be the average cost. And QE. And here you have the constant marginal cost, then it's equal to P. Yeah. All right. So that is the total cost, which is 118 times 2. What do I get? 118 times 2, it should be what? It should be 236. So here, the total contribution is equal to the total cost. Total contribution or total payment, all right, equal total cost, equal to 236. Now, what I said earlier, total payment must at least be equal to total cost, all right, for the good to be provided. If the total payment is less than the total cost, then what happens? Here you cannot borrow, okay? If your collection is less than the total cost, what will happen? There will be no good provided, all right? So if the total payment here less than the total cost, then what? There will be there will be nothing, okay? So no, nothing, susah nak faham. Should be what? Should be Q equal to 0. There will be no good provided. So sometimes, it's not 0. It can be what? It can be Q less than QE. So probably what you have will be, some provision of public good less than the efficient amount. So it's not efficient. Okay, all right. Any question? So that is an example, all right, of contribution, voluntary contribution model of public good. And this is efficient, all right? So the equilibrium quantity or the equilibrium price, or what we should call the market equilibrium here, this is efficient, all right? So if I go back to our first diagram, where I draw it, general diagram, so this is the efficient, okay? So that equilibrium is efficient. Why efficient? Because that is where you have the marginal cost equal to the marginal benefit, correct? The marginal cost equal to the market demand or the market marginal benefit. So that is an efficient outcome. So this Lindahl equilibrium model or Lindahl model is an example of an efficient provision of public good. All right. so it's efficient. Okay. All right. So you have the total cost, and then you compare to the total contribution, and then you compare the total cost contribution. Are they equal or are they not? So one thing that I need to tell you again here is if, all right, if the marginal cost is a constant, and that is equal to average cost, all right, that is equal to constant, then what happens? Then the total contribution or total payment, okay, of everyone just equal to the total cost. Okay, we just show it. All right. Okay. Now, if I look at the other diagram, which I draw here. Okay, I show here. If the marginal cost is upward sloping, okay, the marginal cost upward sloping, the general diagram that I draw here, you have the total contribution that will equal to the total collection. All right. How does it compare to the total cost? How does it compare to total cost? Now, if you have this kind of diagram, if the marginal cost is upward sloping, all right, then the total payment will be bigger than the total cost. So here you just have a balance lah, balanced budget. Here you have a surplus. All right. But for our example, so we did two. Our example, we use a constant marginal cost. So we compute already by that example, payment just equal to total cost. For the upward sloping marginal cost, the total contribution or payment actually bigger than the total cost. All right. So this one, I just inform you. We don't go into detail of it. Okay. All right. So that is the Lindahl model. Okay, the one. Now, suppose the demand function is given as follows. Suppose demand function, you have what? Let's say I have P1 equal to A1 Q plus B1. And then I have P2 equal to A2 Q plus B2. P3 equal to A3 Q plus B. Suppose there are three people, okay, or three individuals, or three households. We label it as person 1, person 2, person 3. And the demand function is given as follows, or you can call it MB1, MB2, MB3. Now, how do you get the market demand function? The same principle follow. Okay, so the market demand function is equal to what? It's equal to the sum of the marginal benefit or the sum of the demand function. What is it equal to? It's equal to MB1 plus MB2 plus MB3. Okay, or whatever number that you have for the individual. So what is it equal to? So it's equal to A1Q plus B1. So that is the first person demand plus A2Q plus B2, second, plus the third person A3Q plus B3. Okay, now you sum it up. What do you get? Okay, simplify that thing. Okay, what do you get for the demand function? You add the constants, you just add the what? The Q. So what do I get? You get A1 plus A2 plus A3Q plus B1, B2, B3. So what you have, you just add the values of the constant and the values of, so that is the market demand. Now, you must have, okay, in order for us to add the demand function, we must have P function of Q. Because the demand function of a public good, you consume the same quantity, you pay different prices. So demand function must be price function of Q. If you have Q function of P, tak boleh pakai. Okay, that's the right answer. So if you are given Q function of P, what do? Senang aja. Convert ke P function of Q. All right. So this is the form. Okay, that's form. So don't add Q function of P. Itu terbalik kong. Okay. So you must add demand function P function of Q. Okay. Any question? Any comment? Anything? Okay. Good. Now, what are potential problems with this kind of model? You have public good. You are going to provide the public good by what? By cooperation, by voluntary contribution among us. Suppose there are 4 people in the group, just like our example. You want to provide a public good. Okay. Let's example police post. If you are talking about house, household, maybe your community 4 household, you want to provide some police service. So you get together. Or if you are individual, probably in your room or your dorm, you want to provide what? Maybe a light, okay, a room light, so that everybody can share. So it's a public good, okay. Or you can provide a ceiling fan, all right, among yourself. Okay, now there are 4 people. Suppose you have a group of bigger community, all right. Let's say you have a bigger community, 1,000 households. Still, I want to provide the police service. And our example, I have 4 households or 4 individuals to provide police. All right. Now we voluntary contribution. Okay. If you look at these 2 cases, you imagine, will it be the same outcome, or will there be problems in either of these? Or there is no problem in either case. Okay, equilibrium 82. Equilibrium. What do you mean by 82? Huh, Adam? Is it the market price or is it what? If it is the market price, 82 salah. Okay, the market price is 8 for our example. Okay, come back to here. Is there a problem in either case here for voluntary contribution? Anybody? If anybody repeat the cost, probably you know. All right. Now, the Lindahl model, contribution, voluntary. What do you think? This is common sense, you don't need to read the textbook. If it is voluntary contribution, you have 1,000 people, and then you have 4 people. Which one is will it work? Can it work? You have 1,000 people, or 1,000 here, 1,000 households. Under which situation it can work better?
The smaller the group.
The smaller group. Okay. If you have 4 people, And then it's easy to voluntary contribution. If you have 5,000 households, is it easy? It's not easy. Okay, so it's costly. You have to call a meeting. Some people don't come, and then you have problem. What else? Problem? It's costly to call meeting. Costly to come up with a decision. What else? What problem can arise? You just think about a potential problem. What other potential problem can arise? This thing here. If you want to say, voluntary contribution. Okay, we have a problem here. Okay, we have a problem. One major problem is that, okay, like our friend was saying, this Linda equilibrium or Linda model, voluntary contribution, can only work small group. Okay, small group, 4 or 5 people, 10 people, 10 households where everybody knows everybody. Okay, we know everybody. I know you, you know me. Okay, everybody knows everybody. Now, as the group gets larger, say 5,000 households, or 1,000, or 10,000 households, so it becomes costly. Okay, it becomes more costly to come up with what? Or more costly to come up with the voluntary contribution for everyone. All right. Now, what is a problem here? One problem, a major problem, is the free rider problem. Okay. Do you know what is a free rider problem? I think we mentioned about this earlier in the externality. What is a free rider problem? Everybody wants to free ride. Not everybody. If you have a bigger group, there will be some people who wants to free ride. Okay, what is a free rider? Directly from the name. What is a free rider? Saya pernah kali puasa ni. Okay, what is a free rider? Hello, are you here? Oh, you are still here. Okay, what is a free rider? Okay, Iman Nazihah, what is free rider?
People who do not contribute to the work.
People who do not contribute. Okay, people who doesn't want to contribute. Or in other words, people doesn't want to pay. Okay, so a free rider is a person who doesn't want to pay. Now, why he doesn't want to pay? Or why he doesn't want to contribute? For a public good, why he doesn't want to contribute? Why? So that relates back to our definition of a public good. Now, let's say I don't want to contribute. Okay, we get a meeting. Okay, these people, I got 1,000 households. I attended the meeting. I said, I don't want police. I said, in other words, that's a free rider. That means what? That means he doesn't want to. I doesn't want to pay. I don't want to pay. So why I don't want to pay? Or more directly, so that you can think better. Why you don't want to pay? Because this can happen to anybody. Why you don't want to pay? What is the reason that you don't want to pay? Okay, your own reason lah. Kenapa? Okay, so yeah, you don't want to pay, but you want to enjoy the benefit. So why we don't want to pay? I don't want to pay because of what? Because even I don't pay, all right, even I don't pay, if the good is provided, what do I get?
I still can enjoy the benefits.
I still can enjoy the benefit. Okay, so that is the mentality of a free rider. Even I don't pay, if the good is provided, I will enjoy the full benefit because non-excludable, okay? Non-excludable property. So if I don't provide it, I will still enjoy the public. Enjoy the benefit lah, okay? The benefit, or I still consume. I still can consume the public good. Okay. So free rider is a person who is not willing to pay, all right? Who's not willing to pay. Why? Because he knows if the good is provided, he will enjoy the full benefit of the public good. All right. So sometimes we can say a free rider is a problem, is a person who understate. Okay, understate his or her marginal benefit. Let's say my marginal benefit or my price willingness to pay for the public good is 10. All right. In my heart, I think I'm willing to pay 10. But I want to free ride. I say I only say marginal benefit is what? Marginal benefit is 2. Okay, so I say 2. So that is what? That is a free rider. Or even worse, I said 0. All right. So a free rider is a person who is unwilling to pay to contribute, or you can say a person who understate his or her true marginal benefit. You should put here true. We know our own. Her marginal benefit, that is the true one. Okay, not the people one. The true. So major problem of Lindahl model or voluntary contribution of a public good is free rider problem. And of course, as the group gets larger, it becomes costly. All right, it becomes costly to meet. Okay, to get the Lindahl prices. All right, so become costly to get the Lindahl prices, because you have to call a meeting, things like that. So it becomes costly. And another problem is a free rider problem. But our focus is on the free rider problem. That's the major problem now, the rider problem. And that is true, all right? That is true in our life. Muslim, non-Muslim, sometimes, we know it's a public good. We have a tendency to understate our willingness to pay. That is natural, okay? That is natural human behavior. So now, when you have a free rider problem, if people understate the marginal benefit, then, all right, then what happens? You will have what? You will have, like I said earlier, Q equal to 0, or Q is less than QE. All right. So it's easy to see. If I go to the back, if we go back to the diagram, okay, I want you to do this. We go back to our diagram now. The program tadi. So what you do, like ini. Okay, like ini. All right. So suppose here there are 2 people. I have A and B. Okay. And of course, under the Lindahl model, that would be the equilibrium. Now, say both of them free ride. All right, both of them free ride. Now we use that concept, understate the true marginal benefit. So if I understate my true marginal benefit. Suppose I am A, alias A. So where is my marginal benefit now? This is my true marginal benefit. Okay. Now I free write. I understate my marginal benefit. So relative to that MBA function curve, where is my new marginal benefit? Kalau where is tu relative to A tu, yang tu maknanya apa? Maknanya
Below A.
below or above lah. Alright. So my marginal benefit will be below. So it will be somewhere here. If good that you draw another diagram. Now B, A. B pun menipu lah. Okay. B pun nak free ride juga. Takkan dia kata awak seorang aja free ride, saya pun nak free ride juga. Okay. So if A also free ride, I mean B, so what happened? Because this behavior can be, orang kata mengebok, macam COVID lah. It's your behavior. If he free ride, what should I pay? I also want to free ride. So suppose B also free ride. Apa jadi? Dia punya bawah agak kan? Dia punya MB pun bawah agak. Sini. So what happened to the market demand? What happened to the market demand? Now A, B do a free ride. Okay, according to the demand function I just add here. So given the free ride demand function, what would be the market demand function relative to the original market demand?
Lower.
Lower lah. Okay, good. So kalau lower, where is it? Lower meaning somewhere below it. So you add them up, I add. Okay, if you draw another diagram, cantik. Tak ada lah bersekabut. Okay, so that is called D1. You see? So what happened is that given the marginal cost, what you have equilibrium here. Alright. So there will be what? There will be a quantity of the good will be less than the Lindahl equilibrium output. All right, so that's why we say Q is less than QE. Okay, the quantity of the public good given free rider problem, you can have either, or in this case here, you have Q equal Q less than QE. Okay, because that is our equilibrium. All right, now, how can you have Q equal to 0? Betul tu, because we said extreme example of free ride, Q equal to 0. No good will be provided. Under what situation you have Q equal to 0? Itu yang case simple senang sekali. Okay, under what condition? What happened to the demand function of A and B? For Q to equal to be 0, or for Q equal to 0, what do we need? That means the demand for everyone 0. Okay, I don't have demand function. Demand function everybody equal to 0 or even negative. All right. Okay. So that is a problem with Lindahl equilibrium or Lindahl model. We have a free rider problem. Right? It can work. It can work only if a small group, and it can work if it is a religious, religious activity. Now, religious activity, the activity that you think, all right, due to our religious belief, that activity, whatever you contribute, you will be what? You will be rewarded in the hereafter. Okay, so if you have that belief, then this thing can work. Right? For example, if you want to religious activity, something that you want to make, or to do, and then you need what? You need contribution. So most likely the contribution would be more reflective of the Lindahl model, because your marginal benefit is what? Is your contribution, because you believe there'll be some reward in hereafter, right? But if it is only good, okay, let's say providing street light and things like that, we tend to be what? We tend to be riding. But actually, if it's even if only good, if you have a religious belief, okay, if you religious belief, if it is a only good, then it can work. Even right? Why? Because that is considered what? Even though it's a street light, if you contribute, you get reward also. Okay, anybody who benefit, you will get the reward. It's like wakaf, you know. It's just like wakaf. You contribute, you get the reward, indefinitely. Okay. So example apa? Religious activity that we can apply the Lindahl model. You do something, let's say you want to make something religiously. You can raise that money, the amount of money, through contributions, because people contribute. For example, you want to build surau. All right, let's say one community wants to build surau. Now, sometimes it can work. In many cases, it works. People will contribute, and they don't free ride. Why? Because the more I contribute, the more reward I get. All right. So, not to say Lindahl equilibrium doesn't work. It can work. All right, but very limited situation. And one example it can work is on religious belief. Right, whatever religion people have, if they have that belief, they can contribute. Right, example surau ataupun banyak lagi lah. Right. So now, if you have a free rider problem, now how can we have public goods? How can you have the public goods? For example, the roads, the schools, the hospitals, the police service, So what? So government will come in. All right, government intervene. Government intervene because why? Because government has the power. Okay, government has the power. You don't follow, you go to jail, or you will be fined. All right, because they have the power. So the government intervene. Now you go back to the model here. Suppose this is the public good that you want to provide. Okay, tak nak diagram ni dah tergabung. Look at the other yang ni cantik. Okay, suppose here the police service. You have what? I have free rider problem. The cost is equal to, according to Lindahl model, you need to raise up 236 ringgit for 2 police officers, or 2 police, and people free ride. We cannot collect that 236. So government come in. Now, when the government come in, how can the government raise the money? Okay, give me one way how the government can raise the money. We are talking about public finance. How? Back.
Tax.
You tax. Okay, government will force everybody to pay. Okay, the government will force everybody to pay. So what the government do will be what? Will be tax. So simple solution, government provide the good. The cost of the good is 236. So the government intervene, the government tax. So impose tax, let's say tax equal to T. Now, the government have two options. Number one, the government can put a tax T equal to the marginal benefit of everyone. Okay. So if you go back to the model, for A, they will ask, okay, you pay 26. And B, okay, you pay 30. C, you pay 15. Boleh ke buat gitu? Okay. No, we are not talking about income tax. I'm talking about the contribution for the public good. The government has two options. One, they can charge the marginal benefit at QE. All right. Again here, this one is okay lah. If small group, but if a bigger group, what happens? If there are 1,000 households, and the government will want to determine, okay, you pay 200, you pay 100, you pay 300, you pay 400, you pay 50. So bigger group, it becomes costly. Okay, it becomes costly to collect. In other words, to collect that marginal benefit, it costs 5,000, more than the price of the public good. So what the government do, to make it simple, we just tax. You make a simple tax. What is a simple tax? You just share equal amount. Okay, so the average cost divided by N. Average cost, N is the number of individuals per household. And the average cost is the marginal cost. The average cost is the average cost of providing the public good. Okay, in our example, what is the average cost? Average cost is 118. Okay, because marginal cost is constant, that is average cost. So in our example, all right, so I put example here. T is equal to 118 over what? 4 people. So 118 divided by 4, Bapak.
29.5.
29.5. So everybody flat. You pay 29.5. You like it or you don't like it, you pay 29.5. You don't pay, I will bring you to jail for 1 day or 2 days. All right? So 29.5. Everybody 29.5. Now, 29.5. That is the tax. All right? So you have to collect 236. So 29.5, how do you make it 236? You have 29.5. There are 4 people, and there are 2 units of the public good. So you have what? You have the total cost. All right. So the tax rate is 29.5, and the tax payment for everyone, tax. Cantik. Okay, tax payment for per person. Okay, per person. Tax payment per person. That will be equal to the T times QE. All right. So per person meaning 29.5, 29.4 tadi. 29.5. You multiply by 2. So per person we pay 29.5 times 2. 29.5 times 2. Berapa?
59.
59. So we pay 59 ringgit, everybody. Now, total payment, because you have what? You have 2 units of public good. Oh no, total payment because you have 4 people. All right. So total payment meaning payment per person, okay, multiplied by the number of person. Okay, number of people, 4 people, so 59 times 4 dapat 236. So total payment meaning what? Meaning the tax payment per person, call it T. So T multiplied by the number of public good, N. I know, number of the people. Okay, so here N, number of individuals. So you will get the total payment, the tax payment, 236 equal to the total cost. All right. So here under the tax arrangement, tax payment, you charge same tax rate, and you can collect what? You can collect the total payment equal to the total cost. Okay. All right. That's number 1. Number 2. Of course, even you tax, there'll be problem also. Okay, what is the problem with this taxation compared to the Lindal model? Okay, what is the difference in terms of how much we pay every month? Yes. Apa dah? What is the difference in terms of payment under the tax and under the Lindal model? Adam, okay, Adam, you say something. You write a lot. So now, what is the difference between the Lindal model and the tax in terms of contribution, or in terms of payment for everyone? What is the difference? Okay, now tax. I said tax, the same. Okay, same tax. What does it mean? It means everybody pay the same amount. Okay, tax same. Now under Lindal model, how do we pay?
Based on their willingness.
Pay based on your willingness to pay. So the Lindal model, so that is the basic difference. Lindal model, you pay your marginal benefit. All right, here I pay the same tax, everybody. So what is an implication of that thing? If you look at the marginal benefit, okay, some people's marginal benefit, I draw another diagram. Some people marginal benefit different. You can have the same marginal benefit. Okay, suppose you have, I don't label because I want to just get the idea. Okay, suppose now how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 people. And say the tax will be here. Tax will be, you have the marginal cost somewhere up there. Okay, marginal cost. That's the susah pula nak tunjuk equilibrium ni. Okay, suppose equilibrium will be up there. That's equilibrium, that's the marginal cost. That is the equilibrium. Oh, separuh tu tak payah, bayar tak payah tax. Lepas tu tukar. Separuh tu negatif. So, we make it here. Suppose it will be here. Somewhere, so, kasih tu, so that is equilibrium, you know. Okay, so that is the linear equilibrium. So I think now we can use linear equilibrium. Kita pakai under, kita pakai EL. Okay, linear equilibrium. Okay, so that is linear equilibrium. You have the marginal benefit of everyone here. Okay, so now you got. Now suppose you impose a tax flat rate, right? Say so, say that. Now, you know, okay, the first difference under the Lindahl model, everybody pay their marginal benefit. Everybody pay the same different prices based on their willingness to pay are different, all right? Now, under the tax, we pay, everybody pay that much. Okay, what is the implication here? For the individuals or the households, if everybody pay the same tax,
Understated and overstated problem.
there will be what? There will be understate, overstate. I don't think that, yeah, I get your idea, but it's not really understate, overstate. There will be what? There will be some people overpay, okay? Some people underpay,
Underpay.
relative to their marginal benefit. Okay, suppose I label people, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, who overpay? Overpay meaning you pay more than what you want to pay. Itu overpay.
7.
7 lah. Okay, 7 overpay. Who else?
6.
6. Who else?
5.
5. Lagi? Ada lagi?
4.
4. Okay, these are the people who overpay because their marginal benefit is less than the tax. Their value is what? The value of the good is less than what they pay. They have to pay, the government ask them. So they overpay. Okay, so overpay. For example, this guy here. Suppose the tax, okay, this is just for example, suppose the tax is 50. And this guy, marginal benefit at the equilibrium point is only 20. So I'm willing to pay 20, you know, according to my demand function, but the government charged 50. So I overpay, marah lah, you know, I get mad. Okay, right. Now, who underpay? People underpay, and they happy lah, because he pay less than his marginal benefit. Okay, suppose underpay. How many people underpay? Who are they? 1 underpay. 2 underpay. Who else underpay?
3.
3. So underpay means what? Your marginal benefit is bigger than the T. So you're happy because you pay less than your willingness to pay. Siapa tak suka? Suka lah, happy lah. Alright. So under the tax system, you charge the same amount of tax. There will be some people who are happy, some people who are angry. Alright. So same tax. Yeah. Some people underpay, overpay. So some people are happy, and there are some people not happy, not angry. You know, not happy. Sometimes angry. You know, because sometimes people can protest because of high tax. So that is the thing. But having said that, you know, there is nothing perfect, all right? There is nothing perfect, but there will be more problem with the Lindal model. There will be no problem with the Lindal model. So they have the government. Now, I remember I mentioned this example a few times. Many years ago, I think at that time you were still boy or girls, very small. I remember many years ago, there was a plan to build highway, people's highway, from Kelantan, Kota Baru, to Kuala Lumpur, people's highway. That means you build the road, the highway, based on contribution. All right, there was a plan, but until now, nothing happened. Okay, now what is the problem with the plan? I think this time, this period was past government, arwah, arwah, arwah Tuan Guru. Okay, arwah Tuan Guru ni Aziz. But you know, the plan is noble, it's good, but it's difficult to happen. Why? Because number one, to build the road from Kuala Lumpur to Kota Baru, you know how much it costs? It's not just 1,000 ringgit, you know. You have to, you have to build bridges, you have to acquire the lands, you have to clear the lands, you have however the cost. It's billions of dollars. Okay, billions of dollars. So who wants to contribute? You know, people in Kelantan who say, people outside Kelantan say, people Kelantan lah kena bayar. Sebab you want to build the road. People in Kelantan who say what? People from other state lah bayar sebab you are coming to Kelantan to visit. All right. So at the end of the day, what happens? Free rider problem. Okay. So that's why, to build all this infrastructure, normally government buat lah. All right. Because of number one, because of the cost. Number two, free rider problem. Okay. All right. Any questions? Anything? Oh, saya punya mic. Dah ni ke? Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, masih tak hear lagi?
Yes.
Okay, good. If sometimes tak tahulah apa masalah dia. Alright, so that is the public book. So if you look at the book, okay, we go to the book. What we are doing now is chapter number 4. Alright, chapter number 4. Discussion is the pure public good. The good in which satisfy the two characteristics of non-excludability and non-rivalry. So the Lindal model will give us the efficient outcome of the quantity and the price of public goods. But the problem will be what? Problem will be free rider problem. So to overcome the free rider problem, government will come in. Okay? All right. Now, what we want to look at next is the partial public good. Okay, partial public good, goods that only satisfy one condition of the public good. Okay, one condition of the public good. Okay, so we will look at the partial. Now, nowadays, you don't see too many public good, pure public good. If you look at the road, okay, the road, highway, you still have to pay at the toll. All right. If you look at schools, there are schools that you pay toll. Means you pay tuition fees for the school. Okay. You look at what? What are other things that you think is a public good? You look at park. Okay, taman, park. Now, this park is a public good. Okay. So this one is some problem. Okay. Now, park. If you look at the park, okay, the problem with the park is what you call the grazing field problem. Okay, grazing field problem. Anybody knows the grazing field problem? Okay, this is a grazing field problem. Ni problem kampung. Okay, if you come from kampung, you will know about the problem. Okay, in the kampung, in one village, you have a grazing field. Padang kerbau, padang lembu. Okay, so that's a grazing field. There is a grass, and where cows come and eat. Okay, so there is one farmer. One farmer. Suppose this this grazing field, you imagine size, susah pula nak bayangkan size. Okay, size one football field. Kalau kita cakap football field ni, kita boleh bayangkan lah. Okay, one football field. Kalau siapa tengok main padang macam tu lah. Siapa at our kampung, ada football field, tapi penuh dengan kayu, penuh dengan batu. That exercise. Now, one farmer, 10 cows. Bring in. Okay. And then, second farmer. Ada 5 cow. Masuk. Third farmer. 20 cows. Come in. And then, fourth farmer. Ada lagi 21 cows. Now, if I continue to the fifth farmer and so on, here I have what? Let's say here he has 50 cows. All right. So now, what happened? What happened here? What happened? At that point, we just discussed about the 3 points. Point A, point B, point C. Okay, what happened at the 3 points? What do you think? You have, the field, the grazing field, the football field size, with grass. So what happened? What happened at the beginning? That is our baseline, base point. What happened here? What happened here? Okay. 1 minute. What do you think? What happened? Okay, what happened? Anybody? Cepatlah. Saya tak payah nak panggil nama. Okay, Wan Abdul Hadi. Kena panggil nama juga lah. Okay, Wan. Okay, what happened? Whatever you think happened, doesn't matter. It's your opinion.
The field maybe will full with the cow, and then the field will become messy with the like
Betul lah tu.
kekotoran.
As more cows coming in, the field will be full of shit. Okay, bullshit. Tai lembu. Alright. That's number 1. Okay, what is the other one? That's one. That's 2. So if you have more cows, you have from point A, 10 cows. Okay, lagi kan? But now you have point C is already more than 100 cows. All right. If you add one more farmer with 20 cows, it becomes 200 cows. All right. So what is another problem here? That is one. Okay. Another problem. Dinner. Okay. Ming Kai. What is another problem with the field? Due to you have more farmers bringing in more cows. Ay, mana pergi Ming Fan dulu tak ada dah. Okay, Adrina. What happened? Okay, Suraya. Give your opinion. What happened? But make it economic, This relates to the concept of public good. The grazing field is a public good, all right? But as more cows coming in, what happened? Because the field is already the size of the football field. Now you have 200 cows. Mula-mula 10 cows. After that, 200 cows. After that, 300 cows. First problem, the masalah benda tadi lah. Okay, the waste problem. That's not our main problem, no. But that's a good idea. Okay, what is the problem here? Okay, this is a problem. As more cows coming in, what happened to the grass available for the cows? As the number of cows increases. Okay, here, first farmer, 10 cows, the same field. He can eat all the grass and kenyang, okay, happy. Now, if you have 200 cows, the same amount of grass. So what happened? As the number of cows increases, there will be less grass available for all cows. Is that right? For all cows. So that is the grazing field problem. What is the problem? There will be congestion. Okay, there will be congestion. So this is a partial public good. It's not excludable, but what? Rival. The good becomes rival. It's not excludable. I cannot stop another farmer from coming in because that is not my field. Okay, the first farmer, he cannot stop the second to come because that is not his field, and I cannot stop the fifth farmer from coming because that is not mine. All right, so the good is non-excludable, but becomes rival. As more cows coming in, there will be less grass. At the end, every cow become pugus. Okay, less grass to eat, less meal. So every cow become thinner. Okay, campur lagi dengan tai lembu banyak. Okay, so that's the grazing field problem. So here you have a partial public good. One kind of good that is non-excludable, and it becomes rival. As more cows coming in, not more skala, but as more people coming in, not necessarily cow, so it can be people as well. As more people, okay, there will be what? There will be congestion. Okay, there will be less public good, so less good available for everybody. Okay, give me another example of this kind of good. Is there any other good for people? As more people coming in, you have congestion. Okay, there are so many examples. Give me one example.
Parking lot.
Parking. Okay, parking lot. That's good. That's good. I haven't thought about it. Parking. If you imagine parking, sometimes parking people can fight over parking space because it's not excludable. And so people know parking, they park behind another car. So ada bertumbuh. All right. So it's a non-excludable public good, rival. Because as more people coming in, there'll be less parking space available. So that is a good example. Right? So how can you handle that problem? How can you handle the problem? I think parking too, you can see. Okay. How can you handle parking problem in a parking space? Suppose you have a proper area lah. How can you overcome that problem of over parking?
Impose a fees. Maybe-
Impose a fees. Okay. You give the ownership of the parking lot to someone and he charge a price. Okay, so that's why if you go to Kuala Lumpur and many areas, people complain parking is very expensive. 20 ringgit per hour, 10 ringgit per hour. So don't complain. Why? Because that is a congestible public good. If it is free, then people can do double parking, triple parking. All right. So they will charge a price. So similarly, for the grazing problem, all right, you can charge fees for the farmers to bring in cows. All right. So this is the model that we're going to look at next. Contestable public good. How can you solve the problem of congestion? Okay. One good example, parking lot. Another example, road. Road. Not the whole road, but certain road connecting 2 points. For example, Penang Bridge. Okay, or the Singapore Johor Bahru Bridge. Kita tak panggil bridge kan, JB to Singapore kita panggil benda tambak Johor. Alright, so there are certain portions of road that become congested. So we discuss that thing later on. Okay, alright, good. Thank you, Adam. Okay, so now we will continue with that model next class. Okay, next class we will have the Wednesday class online. All right, because my son, one of my son, he tested positive, but level 1, level 1. But still, it comes from my household. I will have to limit my interaction with other people. So Wednesday class, will be online. All right? Okay. Any questions? Okay, faham? Okay, faham. Clear? Wednesday online tau. Jangan pergi 3.4. Nanti pergi 3.4, tak ada apa. Okay. All right. So I think I will stop here. I will see you again next class. Have a nice weekend. I know. Have a nice time. Have a nice Ramadan study. Okay. Can someone ask sir about data? Data apa? Cakap, tanya lah. You can ask me anything. Okay, if you have a marriage problem, you can ask me. But of course, I cannot help some problem. Okay, apa? Okay, what is the problem with your data?
Assalamualaikum.
Ya.
Oh, baru function mic.
Baru macam tadi tak ada
Tadi lama error.
Aduh.
Can
Apa
I
saya?
ask when can we submit the data and how?
Saya punya ni okay je connection. Okay, the data tu, alright, data tu has every group compute benda-benda yang saya suruh compute tu?
When to submit?
No, I'm asking you first. Have you computed all the things?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good.
Ada
So,
ada yang tak jumpa sir.
Ada tak jumpa yang tahun 60 tu ke?
Yang tahun apa 79 until wait lah, lupa dah.
Kalau 70, I ask you to find 70 to 79. So ada satu tahun tak ada, 79 tak ada. Hello? Tak dengar balik saya ke?
Jumpa part yang personal income tax dengan corporate tax tu, sir.
Untuk tahun 70 ni?
Mm-mm.
Oh, ya ke? Okey. Kalau dua ni jumpa. Okey. Alright. Okay, I think now our class is finished. Okay, you can leave because I'm talking about 70 to 79. I just need to discuss about this data. So other people, if you have nothing, you can go. Alright? Okay. Oh, 70 to 79 ni, apa yang benda ada? Dua je, personal income. Personal dengan apa?
Personal income tax and corporate tax. Dua tu yang tak ada, yang lain ada.
Dua ni tak ada. Kalau dua ni tak ada, dua ni tak ada, okey lah kot. Tak payah buat lah dua ni. Cuba cari, ada tak sometimes, during the old data, sometimes benda ni dia campur. Okay? Maybe they call it income tax. Cuba check. Ada tak income tax? Sometimes they combine. Check balik. 70 tu. Kadang-kadang dia campur kedua tu. Cuba check balik. Kalau tak ada kak, tak payah buat lah. Buat yang lain je lah.
Okay sir.
Jangan. I don't want you to waste so much time lah, because this is just how to compute. Check balik. Okay, anything else?
Sir, lepas tu kan, yang soalan homework tu, sir ada plan tak nak discuss bila-bila?
Mana?
Yang sir letak dalam Google Classroom tu kan, yang kita kena submit tu.
Memang discuss.
Oh, so nanti akan discuss lah.
InsyaAllah saya discuss.
Okay sir, thank you.
Okay. Kalau nanti saya discuss, bila saya grade, nanti saya submit, saya discuss.
Okay.
Kalau saya tak discuss, bagi tahu balik. Tanya, remind me. Okay. Maybe I forgot lah. But I should discuss that. Okay.
Okay.
Correct. Okay, anything else?
Sir, can you upload the recorded videos?
Upload what?
Recording.
Last class, I already upload. For last class, I already uploaded the recording. This class, upload lagi lah.
Thank you.
I upload the last class. You check WhatsApp. Okay. I upload into WhatsApp last night. So for the classes that you have, okay, that we have online, I have already uploaded all the classes online. The face-to-face tu tak ada lah, because the face-to-face, I need to look at past year if other similarity. Okay, but for us now, right? For us now, the online classes all are already uploaded. Okay, check balik. Okay, alright. Yang today ni I upload. Tunggu lah tu. I upload maybe a few more days. Okay. Alright. Ada apa lagi?
Tak ada sir.
Okay, good. Okay, I'll see you again Wednesday. Have a nice time study. Take care. Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, sir. Selamat berpuasa, sir.
Selamat
Selamat
puasa.
berbuka sir.
Lambat lagi buka. Jangan cakap selamat buka. Terus ingat nak makan. Selamat puasa. Cakap selamat puasa.